Hey everyone, Walt, Flower City Cards, back again today with another video. It's been about 2 weeks. We took a little bit of a vacation with the family. One of my siblings got engaged. It's all good stuff. But we're back. We're ready to get going again. First full week back in the office, and it was definitely it was definitely good to get back. Definitely feeling it a little bit still, and hopefully going to take this weekend to recharge a little bit and dive back into definitely backlog of shipping that we just got yesterday. I believe Pitch Black Wave 2 hit, and I think Perfect Order Wave 2 booster boxes hit. So really excited to clear out a lot of inventory in the basement and really get those out the door. I know that those have already started for a lot of people. I've seen some tracking numbers, so that'll be some of the goal this weekend is to knock out a huge portion of that. So I'm really excited to get going on that. But today's topic, right? Today's topic is around the fact that this hobby just tends to continue to want to repeat things, right? And repeat patterns and just, I think that a lot of people, regardless of what the patterns are and what the data is telling us, a lot of people tend to focus on the emotion that they're feeling in a given time. For better or for worse, sometimes people get lucky, right? Sometimes people buy on the way up, and sometimes people do a good job of doing that. And it's not because it was the best or the smart thing to do, but sometimes people are rewarded, and that's what we've been seeing in the last 2 years in this hobby is sometimes people are rewarded with stupidity, and that's just because they're just here, right? Simply because they were here and they were buying on the way up, they were rewarded, right? And they sold at a certain point and they cashed in their profits, and that's great. Like, that's going to happen in every market, in every asset class. Like, there's always going to be those people. But we get to a period like now where we see only a few people, and when I say a few people, like if you look around the YouTube space, if you talk to people, if you kind of pay attention and see where the price movement is, a lot of stores, a lot of online sellers, a lot of just individuals who have maybe like distro access and things like that, they're dumping a lot of this stuff, right? Perfect Order, Pitch Black, Chaos Rising, specifically, even like Phantasmal, and sets like that. When in reality it should be the other way around, right? Like, we're seeing stuff for $8, $9, $1,000 booster box case, and we haven't seen booster box cases that cheap in 12 to 18 to 24 months. So a lot of people, they like to talk a lot, but they don't walk the walk, and it definitely shows, right? And if I've learned one thing, it's that, it's the people with the capital who are going into this and they're not scared, and they openly saying, like, it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel good to pick up the sets cheap. It doesn't feel good to pick up the sets that maybe aren't the best. But when the opportunity's there and you're well capitalized and you're not leveraging, like, now's the time to take advantage. And then down the road, when these things eventually do appreciate in value, that's the time to effectively move those into something else that you think will become a better vehicle at that point in time, right? And it might be a year. It might be 2 years. Typically, when I'm buying and holding, I'm buying to hold for at least 12 months, right? And if it doesn't feel right to move things, I don't move things. Typically, everyone says 3 to 5 years. That's not the reality, right? What typically happens is, at least in the last 12 to 24 months, things have appreciated so quickly, and we've seen so many future gains pulled forward into the present that a lot of people are just like buying things and flipping them the next week, buying things and flipping them the next month. Like, that's just the way it is right now. And a lot of people, for a lot of people and a lot of businesses, that's their business model, and that's not sustainable, and they're not going to be here forever. And depending on the different channels you watch, I digest a lot of content, from Anon to Catch 'em All Collectibles to Pokemon Knowledge to Rudy to everybody under the sun, right? I like to listen to not only those guys, but I like to also listen to the counter arguments of like how this is just a bubble and it's not going to be here forever, and this is just a short-term gig, and it's not really here. I like to hear all sides of the coin, and I guess what I've kind of taken away is that emotion drives everything. And for all the people that said like, hey, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna buy when it's cheap, it doesn't matter what the set is, you guys are all full of it. You don't really mean it. And I'm talking to the average person, and it's true. And the data supports that, because if you look online, the prices are going down. And yes, I understand it's a market wide, I guess a market price on like a TCG player or an eBay or like a collector app or something like that is typically an indication of the entire market, right? And I understand like some LGSs need to build up their liquidity. Some people just want to get out and they want to just liquidate their entire position, which to that I don't really understand why you would wait to do that when things have corrected a little bit, and especially for the people who are in the niches of the niches and they're like here and they're so entrenched in this, and they are speaking this different language that like average people aren't speaking. Like you guys know that we have summer slowdowns. You guys know that this happens every year. Like, and for at least for me, over the last 3 years, I think like 3 years ago in 2023, like that's when it hurt the most. And when I say hurt, I was the most conflicted, right? Like, one, I wasn't super well capitalized. Two, I was still relatively new to all this. And three, I just didn't have the same level of confidence and conviction then that I have today. And that confidence and conviction builds over time. So it's easier said than done, and I completely understand that. But I don't understand how the people who are really in this can't at least just kind of take a step back and find a way, if you are isolated financially and if you are capable, how are we not picking up, like, now I'm not saying go out and buy 10 cases of pitch black or 10 cases of chaos or 10 cases of perfect order, but like, why are we not picking up a case here and there? Why are we not moving some of our product, even if we don't have the liquidity, or maybe we choose not to use some of our liquidity for this? We take some of the products that have already matured and that we can pull profits from. Why aren't we taking those, or at least some portion of that, and moving it into perfect order, chaos, and pitch black? Do we really think this or these products are going to go lower? And I guess, does it matter if you're buying and holding for 3 to 5 years? It shouldn't. Again, if we take a step back, strip back the emotion, and think about what it is we're really trying to do here, we are trying to buy the lowest risk assets, and in this case, booster boxes, that are let's say the cream of the crop, that have the most utility, that have the most potential value in the future, right? We're not buying single packs. We're not buying, bundles of standard sets. We're not buying sleeved blisters. We're buying the booster boxes, right? Like, what are we trying to do here? We are trying to set ourselves up so that we are positioning ourselves so that there's the lowest opportunity for drop in price, aka price volatility, right, in this given product, because it is the cream of the crop. And we are effectively trying to position ourselves so there is little downside and only upside, right? And it's never going to be 0% downside and 100% upside. But when you look at a 3 to 5 year period, it sure damn feels that way, right? Because if you have been here long enough, even the bad sets, your Darkness Ablaze, your Vivid Voltage, your SV1, your Obsidian Flames, I could go on and on. There's plenty of bad sets out there. all those sets that I just named, guess what? These sets that we just got, Pitch Black, Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, at least in my opinion, I think they're better than those sets. And those sets are all like $300 to $400 a booster box. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, this is the perfect opportunity. And when I see a Rudy or an Alex from Nostalgianomics or other big YouTubers or big players in the space, and they don't even have to be YouTubers, but other people who've been here forever, that they just continue to rinse and repeat, and they just continue to get further and further and further ahead of the average person. And they're not doing anything special. There's nothing special about what is going on here. They're just being disciplined. They're taking the emotion out of it. And they're saying, I believe in this. I have convinced, like, I'm here to stay. And guess what? They're not gambling their mortgage payments. They're not gambling their mortgage payments. They're taking money that if they lost it tomorrow, guess what? They don't need it. So try to get yourself to that point. Not their level. You know, I'll probably never be anywhere near them, but like, I'll be some fraction of that, right? And it's the principle and the mechanism and the rinse and the repeat of the process that allows you to do this on whatever scale that makes sense for you and your available funds and your risk tolerance, right? Like, you have to determine that for yourself. But if we're saying, or have been saying for the last 2 years, like, there hasn't been anything available, like, there hasn't been anything, you know, like, Pokemon's ruined, like, everything's super expensive, like, I can't get my hands on any product, like, now's the time, guys. Like, now's the time. And guess what? Even if they reprint next year some of these boxes, I just listened to Rudy's latest video about, it was like titled like Pokemon versus Pale World, I think was the video. Could have been a different one. And he's talking about the Destined Rivals booster box reprint. And of course, if you guys have heard about it, everybody's overreacting. Destined Rivals ETBs, yeah, they tend to, when we get a reprint of ETBs, we tend to get way more ETBs than we do booster boxes. That's how it's always been. I think back to Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, all that stuff. But anyways, you know what his numbers are for Destined Rivals? 90 booster boxes. It's 15 cases. Even at like my level, which is like a speck on a speck of a raisin of, like, if you consider the world, the TCG space, that's how big we are. 15 cases would be laughable. It'd be laughable. I mean, yeah, we'd be able to get a couple people a case, but like when you split that all up, it's like 15 cases. I mean, we would eat it right up. Like, even at like $300-400, and that's what he's paying. He's paying $400. So don't get hung up on like the reprints. Like, when reprints happen, yes, things will retrace. Like, that's gonna happen, but we're not gonna see a crash. Like, you can't have a crash if there's money on the sideline waiting to be deployed, especially for something like Destined Rivals, right? And we've already seen a little bit of a bounce back with Perfect Order. I haven't looked recently, and I don't check the prices every day, but I think it hit like Perfect Order hit like $160, $170 a booster box on TCG Player. Guess what? Bounced right back up to like $185, $190. So there's money out there that at some point you guys are going to look at this and you're going to say, I waited too long. You guys know that you can buy when the price is going down, right? That's actually the time to buy. Because not only that, typically when you're paying on the way down, you're usually able to negotiate a little bit better, or you have more negotiation power, because usually that means people are undercutting daily other people. That's how it works. So on the way down is the time to buy. That's when it's basically the momentum's on your side. But as soon as stuff starts to go up again, momentum's going to shift, and then you're going to be paying, you know, not 80-90% of price. We're going to be paying 95 market price, right? Like, it's going to be somewhere around there. So just don't overthink it, guys. As PK always says, turn your brain off. I don't really know what else to say. Now is a golden opportunity. Like I said, I got a couple Got a couple cases of Perfect Order in. I paid $800 a piece for from somebody I know. And then I also bought a couple cases of Pitch Black for myself that also recently came in. So just be smart, guys. Again, as I always say, don't overextend yourself. Don't put yourself in a situation where, you're deploying, let's say, 1, 2, 5, 10K, and something happens tomorrow or in a month, and you need to like all of a sudden pull that money out. Like that is not what you should be doing. You should be deploying the funds that you can lose tomorrow should everything go to zero. I know that's easier said than done, and I think everyone who says that in the back of their mind knows that's never going to happen. And there will always be some amount of time to pull some amount of percentage of liquidity of whatever the market price is on any given day. But that is how we should be treating this. That is the mindset we should be having. And if you can, highly consider, not financial advice, right? I'm just telling you what I'm doing today personally. Try to get some exposure to this stuff, guys, because it might not feel good, but in 2 to 3 years, if you're still holding this stuff, you're going to wish you were. So that's all I got for today, guys. A little bit more of a ranty video, but I just want to stress the importance. Like, now is the time. We are being hit in the face with an opportunity. And when I see guys, the big players, making moves that other people, the masses, are not, that's a red flag right there that the masses are missing something. They're missing something, right? You got to do what other people are not doing, fundamentally, right? So that's all I got for today, guys. If you appreciate this kind of content, please consider leaving us a follow. Comment below. Are you picking any of this stuff up? If you have, what have you bought? Are you considering buying more? What kind of position are you holding? Yeah, drop a comment below. And that's all I got. See you guys next time.